gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
The owner of a popular local restaurant shot and killed this week.
56-year-old George Nelson owned Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue. It's located off Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Street on the north side.
Yeah, WRTV's Adam Shooms found out what allegedly happened before that shooting and why Nelson's family already reopened the restaurant.
With tears running down her eyes,
I'm a representation of my dad. I'm a true daddy's girl.
Raquel Nelson is talking about her father, 56-year-old George Nelson Sr.
That's my Superman. You look at your daddy as your Superman.
Nelson owned Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue.
We have some barbecue chicken, wings, we got meatloaf.
The black-owned business has served Indianapolis for decades.
My dad, he felt like in the black community, there's not a lot of examples of people sticking together, and he wanted to create something.
Police say Nelson was...
Wow. So a pillar of the community once again struck down. And this is the second restaurant owner that we've had to cover within the past month. First we covered Lil Baby's business partner, the brother who owned the Crab Shack or the Seafood Shack down in Atlanta. And now we have this brother here, the owner of Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue. When you try and give back to the black community, when you try and run businesses in the black community, this is how you are rewarded. Now, I mean, this it pains me so much because our history just should make us want to be more unified, but it's just like every day we get more divided and we have more haters and more dudes who are just wanting to crash out and end the man's life because he's doing better than them in life. And this is something that is hurtful, and black men need to make a swift correction of this before it gets even worse, and all of our hard-working good brothers realize that, hey man, we can't do nothing with them and just move out and part ways. That's what a lot of brothers are doing now because it's just too dangerous. It's not even that, oh man, these ninjas hating on me, oh man, these ninjas robbing me, oh man. No, they're killing the best of us. So what else choice do hard-working, productive black men have but to die on this hill, right? I mean, they have to flee because these super gremlins are on demon time.
Was shot and killed Wednesday night outside his restaurant near 26th and MLK on Indy's North Side.
He made a commitment to bring his business in this neighborhood, knowing that this neighborhood was a troubled neighborhood with a lot of crime and violence. But his family was committed to come back and to try to help improve the quality of life.
Family says they believe Nelson was shot and killed over a dispute about money.
He wanted to give people in his area an opportunity.
The Nelsons decided to open their restaurant today, saying that's what their dad would have wanted.
He wanted to create something. He wanted to lay a foundation so that like kids and even adults could see something and say, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it.
Now this community mourns knowing a pillar has been taken away.
Have a conversation, have your disagreement, have whatever you want to have, but you ain't got to kill somebody.
In Indianapolis, Adam Shooms, WRTV.
Well, police arrested a 38-year-old man on a preliminary charge of murder in this case. In Indianapolis, there have been 133 homicides so far in 2024. That number is lower than at this time last year when there were 141 homicides. IMPD says it is the lowest year-to-date number since 2020.
Thanks for joining us here first at 4. I'm Nick McGill.
And I'm Birsha May in for Aaliyah.
Tonight, a local businessman is dead following a shooting outside his restaurant on the near north side. Fox 59's Jesse Wells explains what happened and has reaction from the victim's family.
Right now, investigators believe the deadly shooting here at Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue restaurant stemmed from a dispute over money. The business owner who lost his life is being remembered as someone who loved and invested in his community. Around 9 o'clock Wednesday night, a shooting at 26th and MLK left a well-known and respected businessman dead.
That's my dog. I'ma miss him. My heart hurts. I'm never gonna be the same.
Breckel's dad, 56-year-old George Nelson Sr., who is often called Big George, is remembered as someone who always tried to help those in need.
He was really about hiring people in his community, helping the kids, and really just being like something positive.
Just 3 hours after the shooting, police located the accused killer, 38-year-old Justin Jones, following a shots fired call on the east side. IMPD believes Nelson hired Jones to do some work on the business. That work had not been completed and led to an argument over payment.
Lord have mercy. And I see exactly what this brother was trying to do. He was trying to support black businesses in every way. He was trying to put a black business in the black community. He was trying to do the blackety black thing. He was trying to build a Pan-African community and all. He was trying to do that. And I respect him for it. You know? This type of brother is exactly what we need, but damn. It's so unfortunate that you can't work with your own people. I mean, a dispute over. Look at this hack job. It looks like he's supposed to be replacing the wood panels and then painting them over. And this guy, look, he only did a quarter of it. And it's sitting there, and the brother's like, hey man, we need this work finished, completed. It sucks to say, but I mean, it just depends on how he did it. If he paid him up front for the work, you know, what you should do is pay for supplies. As a matter of fact, in this case, you got to buy them yourself, leave them at your business property, and then when he wants to come work, you pay him day by day for the labor. Now, that's the way that you could probably work things out. But we all know if he would have hired a different company and the company had more notoriety, the company was a larger chain, maybe a little bit more expensive, but will get the job done. They would have had this job done in a week. This job is not hard to do. It's a two-man job. One man will take if they're working every single day, sun up to sundown, a week, right? A two-man job, you finish this up in three days. Maybe less. You could really do it in a day if you got two Mexicans. But it's just when you are running a business, you can't, cut corners. You can't hire the crackhead who did 2-3 prison sentences and then he got a craftsman or a carpentry degree in prison, and now you're trying to hire him to help recidivate him, or not recidivate, but help reacclimate him to society, and you can't do that no more. Maybe back in the day, in this day and age, you cannot do that no more. It's too risky, it's too costly, and these super gremlins are on demon time.
You get into an argument and a dispute about money and you kill someone, this is just nuts.
While Nelson had run Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue for years, he only recently opened the location on MLK. Reverend Charles Harrison, whose church is just blocks away from the scene, says the area has long struggled to attract new businesses because of the high crime rate and is saddened by the senseless killing.
He was committed to helping to revitalize the neighborhood by bringing his business here, and he did so much for the neighborhood.
It's not just my father. He hurt an entire community. Like, have a conversation, have your disagreement, have whatever you want to have, but you ain't got to kill somebody. I swear it's never that deep.
Finally, the suspect is being held without bond at the Marion County Jail pending the filing of formal charges. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
This morning, community members on the near northwest side of Indy are mourning the loss of the owner of Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue after he was gunned down outside of his own restaurant.
George Barnett Nelson Sr. was shot and killed, and now a 38-year-old man is under arrest. Our Chase Howell went to the restaurant near 26 and MLK, where people have been stopping by to pay their respects.
Behind the counter at Pa and Ma's Barbecue, workers were still serving up plates of yams, meatloaf, and green beans, despite Nelson Sr. being tragically killed. When asked why they stayed open Thursday after Nelson's death Wednesday night, his family says they're living by what he always told them: chin up, chest out.
It's open today because that's what he did. He served the people. He served the people every single day, ever since he's been here. There's not a person who doesn't walk down this block and that my cousin George Nelson hasn't fed.
And while spoonfuls of food were being put into to-go containers, people were also walking away with the memories they have of Nelson.
You know, he's a real good guy. He's every bit of the kind of man you want to be. I mean, he lived and he worked hard, you know, every day. I mean, he didn't ask for anything. I mean, he got out here and made it.
Jamal Abubakar says he's known Nelson for over a decade and that he'd do anything for anybody.
I have my grandmother was sick back in Africa. I told him, hey, George, you know, I haven't been in the restaurant because my grandma, she's sick. And he said, hey, you know, he gave me $100 bill. I cannot forget that. That was like back maybe.
And this brother was really giving back where it mattered. Where it mattered. And for another black man to kill this brother, it's shameful. It's shameful. It's hard to stomach. But the community has a problem. And if we don't wake up, all of the good black men, hardworking black men, are going to become X'd out, and there will only be Thug Max Alpha Simps left to tell our story, to tell our tale, to depict us, to represent us as a people. It's not what we want, man.
8 years ago, he said, just send her and support her.
As far as Nelson Sr.'s legacy, his family says that will be carried out every day at the corner of 26 and MLK.
When I tell you this dude got a passion for food, he's like highly obsessive. So like if he has a recipe, he's going to try it 24 different ways until he gets it right. So that's what he wants us to do.
The family says a balloon release will be held here at Pa and Ma's on MLK and 26 on Sunday at 3 p.m. Anyone wanting to attend is asked to bring white, blue, and silver balloons. Reporting here in Indianapolis, Chase Howell, 13 News.
Indiana family grieving tonight after the shooting death of a popular restaurant owner. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Donaldson.
And I'm Chelsea Helms. That shooting happened last night on Indy's near northwest side. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke with the victim's family.
Right now, investigators believe the deadly shooting here at Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue restaurant stemmed from a dispute over money. The business owner who lost his life is being remembered as someone who loved and invested in his community.
I'm going to need one more card.
Around 9 o'clock Wednesday night, a shooting at 26th and MLK left a well-known and respected businessman dead.
That's my dog. I'm going to miss him. My heart hurts. I'm never going to be the same.
Breckel's dad, 56-year-old George Nelson Sr., who is often called Big George, is remembered as someone who always tried to help those in need.
He was really about hiring people in his community, helping the kids, and really just being like something positive.
Just 3 hours after the shooting, police located the accused killer, 38-year-old Justin Jones, following a shots fired call on the east side. IMPD believes Nelson hired Jones to do some work on the business. That work had not been completed and led to an argument over payment.
Yeah, man, and it just sucks, man. He would have been much better off if he would have, you know, just went into the city or went into the suburbs and had some random white dude's truck with his you know, his contracting company on the you know, the stencils on the truck, and he should have just went with that. Because you trying to dig down into the community and find, you know, some ex-con to do the work, man, that was his biggest mistake. And it sucks. But you can still hire black. You can still do all these things, have a business in the black community. But because you're going to need black staff, because most people are not going to work in that neighborhood. Let me keep it a buck. Most people are not going to work there. They're not going to park there for 8 hours and do a shift and then come back and all their shit is gone out their crib or out their car. Excuse my French. But, you know, most people just aren't going to deal with that. So you're still going to have that black staff in there. But I know he wanted to do the blackety black thing, but not everything had to be black owned, black created. And that's probably something that he wanted to say and flex on. And not saying that it was something that he, you know, was using as posturing against anybody, but he probably just genuinely believed in his heart that he was helping the community by doing that, and it only hurt himself.
Get into an argument and a dispute about money and you kill someone? This is just nuts.
While Nelson had run Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue for years, he only recently opened the location on MLK. Reverend Charles Harrison, whose church is just blocks away from the scene, says the area has long struggled to attract new businesses because of the high crime rate and is saddened by the senseless killing.
He was committed to helping to revitalize the neighborhood by bringing his business here, you know, and he did so much for the neighborhood.
It's not just my father. He hurt an entire community. Like, have a conversation, have your disagreement, have whatever you want to have, but you ain't got to kill somebody. I swear it's never that deep.
Finally, the suspect is being held without bond at the Marion County Jail pending the filing of formal charges. Jesse Wells, CBS 4 News.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetizing shadow banning this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Tonight, new court documents are revealing what led to a deadly shooting of restaurant owner George Nelson Sr. All of this happening Wednesday at 26th and MLK. Since then, police have arrested a man they believe is responsible. Tonight, our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick shares some new details from this investigation and the larger impact this loss is having on our community.
To many, George Nelson Sr. was known for Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue.
There for everyone, like very nice.
Say chin up, chest out.
But he was better known for the good he was doing in the community.
You know, he's a real good guy. He's every bit of the kind of man you want to be.
He just wanted to be somebody who was positive.
Court documents released Friday say the deadly gunfire stemmed from an argument over money. Families saying the suspect was hired to fix siding on the restaurant. Nelson's wife told detectives the suspect came over to the business wanting the rest of the money, despite not having finished the job. The suspect then allegedly tore off the siding he already put up, leading to the disagreement. According to court documents, the two men who were with the suspect claim Nelson pointed a gun first before the suspect shot.
Damn.
Nothing else, man. We got to do better. We got to do better.
Nelson's death now marks the third Indianapolis changemaker to be killed.
So it looks like he was trying to defend himself. I mean, let's run that back. The documents, let's get into it.
Court documents released Friday say the deadly gunfire stemmed from an argument over money. Families saying the suspect was hired to fix siding on the restaurant. Nelson's wife told detectives the suspect came over to the business wanting the rest of the money, despite not having finished the job. The suspect then allegedly tore off the siding he already put up, leading to the disagreement. According to court documents, the two men who were with the suspect claim Nelson pointed a gun first before the suspect shot.
Yeah, man. See, if you're going to pull that thing, you better use it. You're going to pull that thing, you better use it. because, you know, the two men with the suspect said Nelson pulled the strap first. If he did, this guy has a really good case for self-defense, and I would hate to see him get off for murdering a productive black man. But this is why productive black men cannot associate with Thug Max Alpha Simp personalities. Not giving them a job. Don't give them opportunities. Don't hire them as a bodyguard. Don't try and, you know, put them in a situation where they're able to review any finances. You cannot do that.
Nothing else, man. We got to do better. We got to do better.
Nelson's death now marks the third Indianapolis changemaker to be killed by gun violence in just the last year. Last September, Mike Chappelle, better known as Mike Trees, was killed in a triple shooting on the Northwest Side. He was part of the hip-hop scene and guided young musicians through a radio show. And last July, Indy Ceasefire founder Ron G. was also shot and killed at an East Side gas station. Reverend Charles Harrison, leader of the 10-Point Coalition, says these lawsuits speak to the level of senseless violence increasing in the city.
I'm not for sure how we stop this if we don't get our arms around this as a city and try to help people resolve these conflicts without using violence to do so.
Well, the way you stop it is by locking these dudes up. I hate to have to tell you this, and it's going to be a lot more disproportionate prison system, black men conversations, but when you have a disproportionate amount of crime going on in the black communities, I mean, it is tough right now. The black community is on fire, completely on fire, engulfed in flames, engulfed in violence. And until we say, all right, can y'all come in and you know, round these ninjas who keep shooting ish up and beefing and all this type of stuff and participating in op culture, come and round them up, until we give the police the ability to do their jobs, until we start moving different with our voting patterns, we're going to continue to see productive black men get gunned down in the street by the Thug Max Alpha Simp personality.
As for the suspect in this case, he is still in jail tonight. The Marion County prosecutor will be determining final charges. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
You can honor the life of Big George this weekend. There's a vigil with a balloon release at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon at Pa and Ma's Barbecue. Now, if you do plan to go, you're asked to bring white, silver, and blue balloons.
This morning, the community is coming together after a beloved restaurant owner was gunned down outside of his own restaurant.
George Nelson Sr. was shot and killed Wednesday night, and Metro Police say they have arrested a suspect. See New Yorker has been on this story from the very beginning and is joining us now with what we've learned overnight. Heartbreaking. Good morning, Sia.
Good morning, ladies. Very heartbreaking. Ever since the news of Mr. George Nelson Sr.'s death, dozens have been coming here to the restaurant to pay their respects. They say that this man has done so much for the city, this neighborhood, and individuals personally. Now, just hours after 56-year-old George Nelson Sr. was shot and killed here in front of his restaurant, the workers opened the doors to serve the community. When asked why, his family told 13 News that is exactly what Big George would have done. They say he always told them, quote, chin up, chest out. They are heartbroken by the way he was tragically killed, but his daughter tells us she's prepared to carry out his legacy right here on 26th and MLK.
I'm running it. This is our baby. This is the Nelson families. This is our empire. This is the legacy we're gonna leave for my niece and my nephew. This is what we're gonna do.
Now, the family says that you can honor his life by continuing to support this business. They will also be holding a balloon release on Sunday at 3 o'clock. You're asked to bring white, silver, and blue balloons. We've put that information on our website at WTHR.com. Reporting on Indy's Northwest Side, Sia New Yorker, 13 News.
Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. And tonight, a 38-year-old man is under arrest, accused of killing the owner of a well-known restaurant on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Tonight, police are telling us the shooting actually took place at Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue. That's near 26th and MLK. The restaurant's owner, 56-year-old George Barnett Nelson Sr., died shortly after at the hospital. And tonight, our community is left mourning the loss of a local icon. Our Chase Howell has been at that restaurant all afternoon as Hoosiers have been stopping by, paying their respects. And Chase, we're hearing the suspect may have actually worked for Nelson.
Scott, his family tells us that the man actually was working on the side of his restaurant here, but I want to take a moment to remember Nelson Sr. In a moment, you'll hear from him in an interview we did back in 2020 about how passionate he was about investing in his community. His front door to his restaurant has been constantly opening today, people going in to remember him and to support his family.
It's to start lifting ourselves up and quit having people tell us we're not included in the downtown plan. Since we're not included, we're going to make our own.
Since 2020, that's exactly what George Nelson Sr. did. Create a place where everyone felt welcome and, most importantly, seen.
He was really about hiring people in his community, helping the kids, and really just being like something positive.
While many knew him in the community for his restaurant Pa and Ma's Barbecue, he was also known as Big George, not only for his appearance, but because of his huge heart.
He's raised half Indianapolis. Like, when I say he's a community man, like me and my brother, we went to Cold Spring Academy. Then we went to Texas High School. He raised so many kids.
And while Nelson Sr. may be gone, his legacy will live through his love second to his family, his food. That's why his children plan to step up and run his business.
When I tell you this dude got a passion for food, he's like highly obsessive. So like if he has a recipe, he's going to try it 24 different ways until he gets it right. So that's what he wants us to do.
His family says a balloon release will be held here at Pa and Ma's Barbecue off of 26 and MLK on Sunday at 3 p.m. Those wanting to attend are asked to bring balloons like these in white, silver, and blue.
Chase Howell reporting here in Indianapolis. Thanks so much.
Less than 4 days after he was shot and killed outside his own restaurant, friends and family got together today to remember a local businessman. His family telling us George Nelson Sr. was a change maker for the near Northwest Side.
3, 2, 1.
Blue and silver balloons filled the sky Sunday over Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue, all to remember and honor its owner, George Nelson Sr.
Thanks for coming through, big dog.
George's daughter, Braquel, says her dad spent his life pouring into people, the same people who showed up for him Sunday afternoon.
This is the evidence of what he poured into. This is his family. These are his patrons. These are his people.
Around 100 people passing out hugs and sharing memories of who they call Big George.
He died where he wanted to be at.
Police say George was shot and killed outside.
That is not a flex. That is not a flex. He died where he wanted to be at. We got to do better, man.
His restaurant Wednesday night. He was 56 years old.
Since then, I've been kind of numb. It's a surreal experience for me. But like my dad he was a jokester. So like I hear him in my head like, girl, get your stuff together.
George Nelson Jr. says his father was a kind man.
My daddy was that type of person that would give you the shirt off of his back even when we didn't have it.
Who opened Pa and Ma's as a community institution, his children now at the helm.
We won't stop. We won't stop. This is going to be his legacy. This is going to be my legacy.
At the corner of 26th and MLK for generations to come.
Great man, legend. That's what my daddy was.
Now, just hours after George's death, police tell us a 38-year-old man was arrested on a preliminary murder charge. You can read more about this story, including what happens next in this case, at WTHR.com.
Tonight, family, friends, and customers are remembering the life of a beloved owner. Thanks for inviting us in. It's 5 o'clock. I'm Scott Swan.
And I'm Karen Campbell. We're in for Anne Marie and Felicia.
56-year-old George Nelson Sr. was best known for Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue. Someone shot and killed him near 26th and MLK not even 24 hours ago.
And just hours later, police arrested the man who they believe is responsible for killing him. Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick spent the day looking into this investigation.
And she joins us live with a look at what may have triggered this shooting. Lauren.
Yeah, Scott and Karen, this is definitely a very heartbreaking and sudden loss for this community and the Nelson family. We are told George Nelson and his family just opened the business here off MLK less than 6 months ago. And since we've been out here all day, so many people have been stopping by. They've been doing this memorial here, also stopping in, getting some food. Of course, that really good soul food. As for why George was shot, his family tells me it was over money. At the intersection of 26 and MLK, an Indy staple opening up, hoping to bring new life to the community, only for its owner to be shot and killed outside. Thursday morning, his son left cleaning up the street.
This is crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
56-year-old George Nelson Sr. was a pillar of the community. He and his wife Monica owned Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue since the 90s, opening this new spot to bring love to the Northwest Side.
Because he was about this area, too. So, if nothing else, man, we got to do better. We got to do better. That's it. We got to do better. He died for nothing. For nothing. For no reason.
According to family, the suspect was a contractor helping repair the restaurant. They say George offered to give half the money up front and the rest when the job was...
I doubt that he had a GC license. I highly doubt that, especially if he's willing to crash out like this. Oh, Lord.
done. However, the suspect allegedly wanted all the money up front.
And dude pulled out and he shot my dad in the chest 3 times. And they said my dad fell right over there in that mud, face down on his face, and he died right there.
To many, George was lovingly called Big Dog or Big George, but to Brockel Nelson, she was lucky. She got to call him Dad.
I'm a representation of my dad. I'm a true daddy's girl. Like, my dad was like my best friend.
That's why Brockel hopped on a flight back home to Indianapolis. For years, her dad asking her to be a part of the family business.
He always says, "Sissy, I want you to run it."
For years, she took a back seat, but now
I'm running it. This is our baby. This is the Nelson families. This is our empire. This is the legacy we're gonna leave for my niece and my nephew.
So now this sister is gonna run it, and she very much seems capable. She looked like she loved barbecue. And I like her fire. I like the way that she speaks. I like her demeanor. I like how adamant she is about keeping this business going, and I respect that, and I hope they push forward. I hope they make their money back on this location and then get up out of there. Go where you're valued. This store, family-owned store, home cooked barbecue would do great in one of these quaint, liberal, not too liberal, but quaint liberal cities. It would do great. Get in the suburbs, get in a place where they actually gonna spend some money, get in a place where you can actually hire help that's not going to want to kill you if they don't complete the work. Because you just can't do this in the community as of yet. Now, in the future, will it be possible? Maybe. But right now, the community is hot. And ain't nobody trying to cool it down. So, except me. So, look, man, you take that business and you go to a white neighborhood, I guarantee everybody in the family gonna be a millionaire within the next 10 years. Facts.
This is what we gonna do.
Serve the community just like George did for all these years. And that's exactly what they are doing right now. Pa and Ma's Backyard Barbecue is open right now, serving the community. And when asked why they wanted to do that, the family says it's exactly what George would have done. As for the suspect, he is still in jail tonight. We know the Marion County prosecutor will determine final charges. Karen, Scott.
All right, Lauren Kostick reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Lauren. Well, you can honor the life of Big George this coming weekend.
There's going to be a vigil with a balloon release, 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon at Pa and Ma's Barbecue. If you plan to go, you're asked to bring white, silver, and blue balloons.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.